How's everybody doing today? Oh, happy holidays. You see it. Gonna touch on the Brown tragic issue and Flock. You see their cameras up there tracking the bad guys down. And what does that mean for privacy? Give me 1 second. I wonder why I was looking so with a shade. Let me move this quick light and give me 1 second. A little better, a little better. Once again, give me one in the chat. Looks like a couple people's in here with me. A couple peoples with an S. A couple people in here with me. Shout out to Fern. Yeah, that came with Restream. I thought the same thing, Fern. I was like, I don't know if this Christmas music is appropriate. Shout out to BB. I was thinking the same thing. Shout out to Restream. I guess they were trying to make it a little more hip hop. It actually was New Year's Eve music. That's what it was under. But I'm rocking with you on that, Fair. I appreciate the one. So I just did a little research and I just found out something that scared me. So we'll get to it in a minute. I'm a little perplexed. I am not. PBL's not happy talking in the third person. We get to it and I did a little research. I think I just scared myself. So we'll definitely get to it. Once again, you know how we do it. Cybersecurity and technology. Drop them in the chat. We're going to get to it today. Hopefully, everybody's having a happy holiday. Let's get to it. You know, I'm an ex-college professor, so we got to get our slideshow going on. What happened to the Brown University shooting and surveillance tech? December 2025, a devastating mass shooting occurred at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, in which multiple students were injured and others were injured also. The suspected shooter, Claudio Manuel Valente, I won't mess his name up, was later linked to the shooting and the killing of the MIT professor during a multi-day manhunt. The investigators eventually located the suspect deceased from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. So let's see. Shout out to Jeffrey Johnson. Good morning. Shout out to AI flocking everything up. Facts. Well, let's talk about the duality of that. I don't say flocking everything up. Let's get to it though. I think it did what it was supposed to do. I just worried about it's going to do a little bit more than we wanted to. So that's kind of where we're going to edge to, really. So once again, tragic issue. Technology came in and helped track down a perpetrator. Then we're going to talk about what does that mean for government surveillance. I've probably done 10 videos on government surveillance over the years. That's kind of one of my pet peeves. Government oversight of surveillance. So that's kind of what we're going to tiptoe into. After authorities received a tip from Reddit user that connected a specific vehicle to the suspect, law enforcement used surveillance technology for the company Flock Safety to track car movements across different locations. Investigators entered the vehicle description, including make and license plate, into the Flock system, which drew on a network of AI-powered cameras. So I'm cool, I guess, with the license plate reader, but we're going to take it up to another level of AI-powered cameras that read license plate and identifies vehicles over time. This helped provide investigators with lead that assisted in locating the suspect's movement. So what does Flock Technology does? Flock Safety is a United States-based company that automated license plate readers. The ALPR cameras and AI-enabled surveillance systems used by law enforcement and communities across the country. The systems can scan and identify license plates and vehicles features and allow investigators to search historical sightings across a wide camera network. As of 2025, Flock has deployed these systems widely with thousands of law enforcement agencies using the technology to support investigations. In the Brown case, police were reportedly able to use the Flock database to pull up multiple sightings of the suspect's rental car, even after the suspect changed or altered the license plate, and traced his movement back to the location connected to the shootings and later events. So even though the person changed the license plate, that's actually just one point of data of many points of data on your car. In the old days, I think if you change the license plate, especially in the movies, you would get away, right? Not anymore. Shout out to Flock. My issues is privacy and civil liberties concerns. The use of AI-enabled surveillance like Flock cameras has sparked significant privacy debates. Civil liberties worries. Privacy advocates, including groups of Electronic Frontier Foundation, EFF, and the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, have raised concern that such pervasive surveillance systems could lead to a mass tracking of ordinary citizens' movement. That's what I worry about right there. Mass tracking of ordinary citizens' movement with the erosion of privacy rights. These groups argue that widespread deployment of license plate readers and AI cameras can expand beyond the original public safety purpose and be misused and abused without clear oversight. And I believe some of that is happening currently. So we'll jump into that. Right? But from shout out to the ACLU, they're always kind of doing great work in that area, right? So once again, we're worried about the mass surveillance of ordinary citizens. Technical exposure issues. Separately, investigative reports have shown that security misconfigurations in some AI surveillance camera networks, including instances where live camera feeds were exposed online due to improper setup, allowing unauthorized individuals to view footage, adjust settings, or access logs. Such exposure highlights technical privacy risks in addition to the broader civil liberties debate, once again, which is mass surveillance of ordinary citizens and just your population. So, once again, if you got any questions, cybersecurity or tech, drop them in the chat. How law enforcement and Flock responds. Flock safety leadership, including CEO Gary Langley. I heard that dude in a couple interviews. Not happy with him. Emphasis the utility of their technology and aid in serious crime investigation. Argue that AI and license plate tracking provides important tools for law enforcement. They maintain that such systems help solve cases that would otherwise go unsolved and can act as a crime deterrent. Langley has publicly discussed both the benefits of technology and the need for responsible and transparent use. However, some communities have paused or ended contracts with Flock due to privacy concerns. There are calls from privacy advocate groups in some state legislature for stronger protection and regulation around the use and sharing of surveillance data. That was in the ACLU on their website if you want to go do a little more research. So that's why I'm pulling a lot of this is from the ACLU website. Once again, my concern is mass surveillance of ordinary people. Bottom line, AI-enabled surveillance camera from Flock Safety played a role in assisting law enforcement during the Brown University investigation by enabling and tracking of suspect vehicles after the community tip. This operational success has been met with renewed privacy and civil liberties concerns, with critics arguing that such technology can lead to a pervasive tracking of innocent people and lack of adequate oversight or safeguards. Once again, that's PBO's issue, pervasive tracking of innocent people and lack of adequate oversight or safeguards. There are also technical exposure risks, debates of how such systems should be regulated and governed going forward. So I think for me, that's the issue. That's the debate. When you're tracking people, everyday people, pervasive. I love that word. Pervasive tracking of your ordinary citizens. What safeguards should you put around there? What guardrails should you put around there? The LCU says about flock. The LCU has been publicly critical of flock safety and similar automated surveillance systems, arguing that their rapid expansion created a nationwide mass surveillance infrastructure that goes far beyond simple driving tracking and possess serious threats to civil liberties and privacy. So my man Xavier said, I was jumping in with the great questions. Late to the party, I'm using simple terms, but they're mad at the tech was used to get the bad guy. Yeah, they're not mad at the tech. They worried about the prolonged use of the tech. The tech was good, but if you're tracking everyday citizens and pervasively tracking, right, our every movement, who keeps the data, how long do you keep it? Why do you have my face on the track? Do you need a search warrant to get my image in the midst of me moving them out my day, or do you just get it because I was out in public? I don't think we're worried about being mad at Flop. We're being worried about how that additional data is going to be used in the future. I think that's the question. Once again, from a nationwide mass surveillance, I'm a little leery of the government tracking everybody in their movement, right? And I just found out something right before the video that kind of really made me, I guess, wince a little bit, and I'll reveal it at the end. But now that's the issue, Xavier. Chime in on that. What's your thoughts on that? It's not the catching of the bad guy. We're cool with that. How long do you keep it? Why is my face inside? Because let's be realistic. If the police is looking at it, it's in police custody, it's in the FBI custody, it's in the CIA's custody, right? So I get a little nervous when, once again, everyday citizens are being tracked. Or if you do, at least tell everybody. Let's be transparent. We're tracking everybody in the United States and reading your license plate. Expanding surveillance, this right here, beyond the original purpose. The ACLU 2025 briefing argued that although fact cameras started as a tool to record where cars was and when, the system has grown to be much more powerful. Rather than just recording license plate in the system, stores a centralized database of vehicle movement that can be searched nationwide. Enables even smaller police departments or private entities to query vast data sets, extending surveillance capabilities to location and pattern beyond what was originally justified. So I think that's kind of where I'm coming from with that, Xavier. AI tracking have been used by consumers. Now it's perfected, good enough to go. Oh, I think you're wrong. I think the government had it way before consumers had it. Government had it way before consumers had it. My thought pattern on that. Now, I do agree. I think the private sector always smooth it out, but now the government's been doing that. If you Google it, they went dark. They was trying to track everybody's movement on the internet. They went dark because they didn't have enough database perfection back then to track it. But now the government was doing it way before consumers. Can anyone do a FOIA request to get this information? Ooh, I need to do a little research. I like where you're going with that, Jeffrey Johnson. I don't think you can FOIA it, Jeffrey. The reason why is I think it's going through since Flock is a private industry, I think though it's being contracted out by the government, but I think since it's their information, I think the government's licensed it. So I don't think it's public information. But Jeffrey, I'm guessing on that. Because the same thing, shout out with my man Kiki, he's not here with Palantir. I think because it's a private organization, I don't think you can FOIA it. Now, if the government takes certain pieces of it and save it for their investigation, you probably can FOIA what they use to pull out, I guess, to arrest somebody or track down the bad guy. I think they probably move it from flock to their government system, so you can probably FOIA it then. I need to think on that, Jeffrey Johnson. I don't think so, once again, because flock is a private organization. I would think that government always track everyone. Yeah, by normal tracking phone. Yeah, but I think the issue is, shout out to Scampy, and I'm gonna do another video on this later, is the government's usually in silos, so they're just now getting it where you can synthesize that information, put it in the data warehouse, aggregate it all. I think that's where the government was struggling with it at first, exactly. I think they had like your license plate is at DMV, your phone number somewhere in a different agency. Now I think they're trying to coalesce it all, aggregate it all. I think that's where Flock is kind of helping them with that. And I think once again that's where they're struggling at. Because I got another video out where ICE is actually getting your flight plans. So anytime you fly a flight, they send your information to ICE to see if you're on that in that immigration database. And if we need to pick you up, we know what time your flight is when you're taking off or where you land. So I think the government's getting better at that aggregation from a data warehouse. And now they can handle the big data, right? With the data warehouses, data lakes, lake houses. They can handle petabytes of information. I don't think they could. I know they can do that in 2000. We struggle with them. In my mind, they care about some folks. Oh, facts. Once again, I'm doing a video where when you fly, right, your flight data, sending that to ICE, right? So you are correct. I think certain communities are under attack. Now, I wouldn't say under attack. More having more issues with the government, right? So they're coming on the front burner of that. So once again, right there, beyond what was originally justified as part of that flock system, right? I think flock went from license plate reader to now we're doing AI. Now we have other, and I'm gonna bring it up. They have other data brokers, so now they're taking out sites of these once again siloed data bits and put them together. Where's your license plate? What IP are you coming from? Where was your what state and city your license plate is? What IP is your zip code is? Where you hitting those at? Right. So now once again, you putting all those data silos together. You coming on with a more of a surveillance tip. Give me 1 second. I got to drink a little water. Once again, put any more questions or tech or cybersecurity in the chat. Talk a little bit more about a government surveillance, tracking everyday citizens. Used by federal agencies. We was kind of chiming in on that. According to the ACLU, Flock's data is being accessed by federal law enforcement, including agencies such as United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We just talked a little bit about that, ICE, to assist in immigration enforcement activities across the country, often without public transparency or meaningful oversight. The use raised concerns about how data collected for local crime prevention can be repurposed for a restrictive immigration policy. So once again, should your local movement once again roll up to ICE being used by a federal agency? Once again, is that a right to know issue? Is that at least privileges? Who can see that information? The license plate reader plus AI equals broader tracking powers. The roundup highlights important shift. Flock is transforming its license plate reader system into an AI-enhanced surveillance tool. So once again, that's my issue. video search capabilities powered by machine learning, natural language search feature that allow human-like queries across a massive data set. These enhancements potentially turn the system into a real-time intelligence engine far beyond a casual license plate reader. And I think that's the issue when you start talking about real-time intelligence engine, right? It's mentioned in commercial and data broker integration. The briefing also criticized potential expansion where flat technology could be linked with commercial data brokers to associate license plate data with personal identifier information, effectively creating a dossier of individual behavior without meaningful legal checks. Meaning, I know where you moved, I know where you at. Now I take your data broker is what's your credit score, right? So, the two is who you connected to, who you move around with, right? So now I have this. We used to call it a digital dossier of your digital movement. It's not digital movement now, digital with your physical movement. Why is the ACLU concerned? Lack of transparency. Communities may adopt these systems without fully understanding how data is shared or used. Instead, agreement with police departments can give FLOC broad rights to share data unless explicitly revised. We talked about that too. Is what's your agreement? Let me see. The license plate reader data can be used to reconstruct a person's movement, including visits to sensitive locations like medical facilities, house of worship, or even political events. Let's see. The United States government clearly is not playing about fixing immigration. So yeah, they're clearly with using this stuff for them. I think all the data centers are being built to house all the state. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that. Let me think about that. I thought it was more for the getting your AI and your machine learning, getting your chips up to be able to handle that movement. But part of handling that is crunching super large data. Yeah, I got a video coming about that where ICE is actually taking the airport data, putting together there's an internal system for that tracking. So I'll probably talk about that another day. Like this is just the tip of the iceberg. Then we're going to take it to that immigration and at a high level. Do we think that's appropriate for the government to be doing that? Their answer, of course, is yes. So, lack of legal protection. There are very few legal guardrails governing centralized license plate database, meaning people can be monitored without warrants or clear oversights of the mechanisms. Because FLOC network spans thousands of communities, critics fear amounts to a de facto national tracking system, especially as AI analytics and shared database deepens in integration. Right, so it was, once again, it started off as a license plate reader, but obviously it's going into something more. And once again, it's tracking your movements, like you said, where you worshiping, what medical facilities you doing, are you leaving the United States? All right, so it's tracking all that. Once again, your movement. I pulled a couple of these off of police departments that were already using it. Once again, that's Melissa Police Department. I think that's Texas. Or maybe trademark. Flock's security cameras use license plates recognition technology to track suspicious and suspected vehicles that may pass through their county. These cameras are strategically placed along the city right-of-ways or proactive measure to deter and detect potential criminal activity. How does this help their county safe? This system will help us quickly identify vehicles associated with potential crimes, assisting officers in responding promptly to keep your city safe. While crime has always concerned our cities lower than the average crime rates, and we're taking steps to keep it that way. Are they stepping on your rights, your right to privacy? This was in Ronick once again. License plate vehicles. What is not detected? They saying facial recognition, people, gender, and race. Acceptable use policy. Data is used for law enforcement purposes only. Data is never sold to third parties. Prohibited use of traffic enforcement, immigration, harassment, intimidation, use and based solely on a protected class. My fault. I'm back. Got coughing a little bit, but once again, there's a lot of small cities and jurisdiction actually, buying this technology. You see on the left, they have their internal uses, local networks, report searches by users internal to the organization, both local and on any network share with it. Then you have your external users, report search for organization network by external users. So you can track and log who's internal versus external users that are using your system. This is what made me nervous. Flock Safety and Ring, which is your doorbell ring, partner together to help neighborhoods work together for safer communities. Flock Safety and Rings are connecting communities and public safety securely, transparently, and on your terms. So now you're tracking driving through with the readers. Then people use Ring when people are walking up to their houses. A lot of rings are pointing to the street. So now you put those together. That is definitely oversight and to me overreach. And the thing people don't realize is Flock and Ring are both owned by Amazon. So Amazon has a facial recognition product called Recognition that they sell to police departments. So you talk Amazon, Flock, and Ring together, man, they tracking everybody in the United States. So, and once again, these are the cameras. You see they have different centers and different police departments, different authorities. At the top, you see those images, right? Those images are flooding to a database, and I can use facial recognition. I could say this is a picture. If it shows up on any of those feeds, flag it. All right. So did we get a search warrant to do that, or we just did it? So that's kind of some of my issues with it. Everybody know I'm an AWS geek. Flock, their machine learning is actually running on Amazon. This was one of their first iterations of it. It was kind of slow. So I was kind of interesting. This is kind of their data warehouse, S3 bucket. It's kind of where you save all your big data items super cheaply. Those data hoses those are streaming data. A lot of times you can't batch it up. You actually streaming that at high frequency and actually saving those feeds into a S3, which is an object-oriented bucket. So I thought that for me was very interesting from a large data machine learning standpoint. You see right there, there's the camera with the image. It flows through the cameras. That's their SageMaker ML in the green, kind of with the eye. Flows over to their SNS topic, which basically sends out an email, or you can stream it once again to Firehose. Then Firehose are just going to write it to an S3 bucket. Then once we have it in an S3 bucket, we can always go back and look at it, stream through it, mark it, put it in vector database. Uh-oh. Oh no, I would never get a smart doorbell. Most autos and TV. It does get pretty spooky when everything is smart and maybe has camera. Not maybe. They all have cameras. That's not a maybe, Xavier. They all have cameras. Shout out to Regine. Thanks for joining us. No, no, not maybe. They all do. So let's see. This is their new flock stream, their new, more streamlined architecture. So it comes in their click stream, which is their data stream from their cameras. It's their ML prediction, goes to their logic, goes to their destination and dimension table. Quick site is dashboards. So you could say, does it look like a pew poo in there? What color shirt does he have on? What is his location? Not what is his location. What is his longitude and longitude? That's what they keep in those dimensions. The two is who's in the zip code that kind of fits this description. What license plate, right? It's more than a license plate. What make and model car went through these license plate readers? It's just not getting your license plate type reader. Then two is, once again, the deal is, do we think is too much government oversight? I do. I think it's crazy. It's already there. That's the part about it. Once again, I dropped the link if anybody wants to come up. And the other thing is, Flock and Ring are both owned by Amazon, and Amazon is collecting a lot of data now. What a lot of people don't know how many companies they own or own a percentage of it. I think they own Ring. I think they're a heavy investor in Flock. So once again, I think that's just government oversight. I don't think we have any guardrails legally to kind of figure out, once again, if a reader gets my face and my license in my car, who can get to that? Do they need a search warrant to do it? If it's streamed, is it just the local police? I don't know. So those are some of the things I think we just need to kind of ask. Shout out to my man Jeffrey Johnson. I'm scared that there's no distance, that in not so distant future, the government will simply be able to put a query in for what I was doing using flock footage, cloud footage. Oh, I think they got that now, Jeffrey. They're pretty close to that, especially if you're in a downtown major issue. I think they're getting pretty close to that. I think the ACLU are kind of pushing back. I think most everybody else has already kind of signed up for that particular thing already. I have so much surveillance stuff in my two feet. Blockers optimism because how I prevent. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the sad part. They are easy to hack. What's that search where they show open cameras at filling stations and stuff? I'm sure if you go in there, I need to get out to my man Gabe, right? So he handles most of that. So he get all over that. So no, you're right. I think they're getting better though. But yeah, to have all that data, their security's pretty light. Cars are not different with the SOS system. True. Bumper stickers, facts. So yeah, I guess, and I might run a short video. They were talking about how many points of data that's on a car. It's just not the license plate. They go hubcaps, stickers, colors, bumpers, making models. They can get a lot just from the taking a stream of your car, especially if they're getting close to 360 view of it. They get a lot of data points off of that. Once again, I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up. PBO kind of running a little tired on the holiday already. What am I doing? Drop the link if anybody wants to come up. Once again, something short on a Friday. Not too heavy. Let's see, my manager. I joke that sometimes the stuff they do to investigate is just a government's way. Oh, I agree with that. I think most of that's already happening today. I don't look at it as much as I used to, but from a tech standpoint, most of that they're already doing. And now you're talking about drones are becoming more commonplace and cheap. facial recognition on the drone, you're just gonna add more to the data they're collecting. And two is people a lot of times on the license plate reader when you get tickets, you drive through Chicago and get a ticket, they got your face. You drew through the you didn't put your money to get your ticket. Then they take a screenshot of your car, your license plate, and your face of whoever's in the car. So all that's part of the streaming the image. So it's just a matter of time before they start using those extra data points to track down, I guess, regular people. See if I can share some real quick. Once again, drop any questions, cybersecurity in the chat. Let's see, I think I'm going to share, which I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. I just kind of do what I want to do.
And the Providence police chief says they tracked the suspect down thanks in part to a detailed tip. Officers say they got information about the suspect driving a gray Nissan with Florida plates. Then the tech company Flock was able to provide advanced search features to find the car and flag that the plates had been switched. Flock founder and CEO Garrett Langley is here with more on that. Hi, Garrett. Thanks for coming on. So how were you able to find this car even though it had different plates?
And good morning, called Freeform, that allows the police department to go above and beyond a license plate. It looks at the unique identifiers that a human would recognize, but provides an ability for law enforcement to search in plain text. What we're able to then do is find that vehicle, find that they were in fact doing what's called cold plating. And we have a specific product designed to detect that effort. This individual was clearly premeditated, had multiple license plates with him, and was trying to circumvent the system.
So how did your company coordinate with law enforcement in Rhode Island and Massachusetts?
Yeah, so we operate the largest network. Over 7,000 police departments are part of the Flock network of license plate reading cameras throughout the country. Crime, as we see here today, does not respect city boundaries, county boundaries, or even state boundaries. So one of the beauties of the system is that Flock as a company does not have to get involved. From Providence to Rhode Island State Police to Connecticut State Police to Massachusetts State Police, they can all coordinate inside of the Flock system, creating what's called a hot list entry. So as soon as they knew what vehicle to look for, they can now create an alert for any camera in the country when that vehicle is seen.
And this offered crucial information in this case. But what do you say to people worried about privacy when you have tech that can pinpoint a location like this?
Yeah, I say privacy is the wrong question. It's really about trust. Do you trust the Providence Police Department? Do you trust Rhode Island State Police? And I do. And we need to provide modern technology because clearly.
But I don't trust you, CEO. I don't trust you. I don't trust Flock.
In this case, criminals are also using technology. They are trying to avoid detection. And so it's critical that we provide modern technology that provides precision policing.
And so what do you think this means for the future of law enforcement?
I think that, look, everyone deserves the right to be safe. And this is a sad day for our country. No one should lose their life in this situation. And it should be known that if you commit a crime in America, you will be held accountable.
All right, Garrett Langley, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody chime in on that guy. What y'all think of Flock CEO? What y'all think of that statement? Give me a few inputs on that. What y'all think? I mean, facts. I trust me. Shout out to Xavier. I'm cool at, they getting the bag out, they focus in, but There's a million people in that database spread across 7,000 police stations. Um, so what do we do about that? That was kind of my only issue with it. It's like, okay, once again, there's a million people. How long do you keep it? Some people say they kept it for 30 days or 60 days, or if you need to go back and do a cold case. But I'm not under investigation, so I don't want. I don't want. I don't know if I want to keep my image and likeness at a police station that I didn't have my knowledge on there. Um, I don't know if you need to. It sounds like you don't need a search warrant if you're in one of those police departments, and this is the person. You can just go get it. He didn't say he went and got a search warrant or anything. Went to a judge or something. He just said, "We just went out there and queried it." I'm like, okay. Once again, what safeguards around it? What legal safeguards are around it? See what my man Xavier said. I mean, it's good for the sake of stopping bad guys, but it's better be secure. Plus, they better have the right guys overlooking. Yeah, that's my issue. And they're gonna make some mistakes. Somebody's gonna get false identified and get confused with somebody else. And so once again, I just hope we have responsible technology and talk about the privacy and the use of that technology. Shout out to my man Dwight. I think I'm gonna do a video on this coming up. ICE is even having your purchase of these tools, the local police department, including Palantir products. Yeah, that's in my video I got coming up about ICE. They developed an in-house product because they got tired of using Palantir, but both of them has the same issue, right? Who controls it? Who has the rights to it? Once again, but now definitely I'm gonna do a video on that. Probably ICE and Palantir. Do a combo that up. I don't know. I agree with you, but I just don't think it will be. That's my only problem. I just don't think data retention. They just gonna keep it forever. That's my part. That's my issue with it. They don't say how long they should keep it. I just think they keep it forever. Right? And probably 7,000 police stations now, the police departments. In another 2 or 3 years, it'll be 14,000. Right? I think, especially this administration, I think they're real big on technology. Shout out to Elon Musk. So I think they're real big on technology, and I think they're going to spend a lot of money on technology. No, I agree. I just don't think we're going to get the oversight we need to be getting. And because we looked at where the this administration was blocking states for doing AI privacy policies on AI. They blocked them, and the states that have them, they're going to sue them. So I think this is kind of more of an open administration on technology, less government, less oversight. So I think that's what we're going to get. And they're consistent about that too. So they're not wavering on that. So I think for me, that's a slight issue. Once again, here's the link if anybody wants to come up. Drop any questions, cybersecurity. Otherwise, I just want to drop something short on the holidays. Just a government oversight, right? Government surveillance over the whole country. Let me see if I can Google up something real quick. Once again, put any questions, cybersecurity or technology, put them in the chat. Hopefully everybody's having a good Christmas. Oh, I guess I just found that. I didn't see that in my original. Let's look at this quick article, then we are wrapping on up. Once again, cybersecurity or chat, just put them in the chat. Share this quick article. I just saw it. I was looking actually for something else. Just going to read the beginning of it. Well, CNBC. Oop. Let me do that. Oh, shoot. Amazon Ring security cameras moving deeper in law enforcement with Flock Safety. I guess it was a deal. Flock's safety team is teaming up with Amazon Ring to offer public and law enforcement a new way to share video footage that can assist in a crime. This second recently announced deal bring Ring security camera footage more deeply into police work, allowing citizens to opt in to sharing their cam footage. Axiom Enterprise is also teaming up with Amazon Company. The public debate over crime and law enforcement technology remains divisive, but Flock Safety CEO tells us a simple approach. Everyone has the right to be safe, and people should be held accountable if they commit a crime. Just going to read these first three paragraphs. Amazon Security Ring moving deeper into law enforcement work. Flock Safety would also citizens who own Ring cameras to share footage that can assist in crime investigation, making video available to law enforcement that use Flock software. It's the second recent deal bringing the Amazon Ring security tech into the law enforcement market in new ways. Ring also recently announced a similar effort with Axiom Enterprise. A direct Axiom competitor, works with an estimated 6,000 communities and 5,000 law enforcement and sees a long tail for tech and public safety with an estimated 17,000 cities across the United States, according to the CEO and founder, Garrett Langley. That's who we just heard on the that video. I think that's all I want to share about that. I don't want to get too crazy. But once again, those two are actually owned by Ring, which for me makes me a little nervous. A little nervous. Shout out to Amazon doing the most as always. When you got big pockets, you can do big things. So let's see. Oversight is necessary. That's all I wanted to hit. Just kind of mention that government oversight with those two companies. Specifically, I've probably done 2 or 3 footages on Ring. Once again, I think Flock from the government side, state side, doing with law enforcement. We know Ring was more commercial, more dealing with home security. Let's see. Facts. So the question, see, I mentioned that they just create info to just find this bad guy. Does that mean that? Yeah, I think that's what it believes. I think from their standpoint, I think he meant inside the safety region, which I think is the police side, safety side. But yeah, I believe that's true. As long as you have credentials, I think they just open it up. And I believe that from their standpoint, if you get credentials, I'm sure they do some high-level background check for security, since theoretically you'd be working for a state or federal department before you query it. So I believe that's true, Xavier. Yeah, they naming everybody, ain't they? Like, I guess we need to figure out what that list is. Maybe I need to do a video on a couple more of those. For mine, I think Amazon's the worst. No, I take that back. Palantir is the big dog in that area. No, I think once again, I think you would need some kind of background check to be able to query it from one of those particular state agencies. Now, I don't think their background check is the most strenuous, but I think you would need some level of background check to be able to put people information up in there and query it. But I might put that on my list to see if I could if I could do that. If I could figure a way to get on there and query it. Um, the sad part about it is they probably get hacked and all the information probably get dumped in another database that's on the web. The only good thing is that's going to be a huge database because images are heavy. Images are super heavy. Including police with yeah, that's true. I guess I'm giving them a pass to White, but you are correct. I guess this police you would have passed the background check, but that don't mean you the person that actually should be on it. But most police have, not most, all of them pass the background check, and we know a lot of them got some sketchy passes too. So once again, put in your questions, cybersecurity or tech in chat. Just want to stick our toe in mass surveillance at a federal level. There's a lot of companies because there's a lot of money in that from a federal perspective. Let's say Palantir, Amazon, Ring, local police, city police, state police, federal police, CIA, FBI. You know, hell, they're doing global manhunts on people. So there's a lot of data, a lot of people out there getting that data. That's crazy, Dwight. I believe you know. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Let's see. The white one that we push. Let's go find it. I found it. Let's go see it. Let's just hit the highlights of it. Let me get my big. Okay. A former Kansas police chief certification has been revoked after he used police investigation equipment to keep tabs on his ex-girlfriend. In October 2023, former Sedgwick police chief Lee Naggart was placed on paid administrative leave while he faced multiple allegations of misconduct. The Kansas City Commission on Peace Officer Standard and Training says it used the police vehicle to follow his girlfriend and her new boyfriend out of city limits. Naggart claimed he was following him due to drug-related issues, but later admitted jealousy was involved. Man, that dude like 70 years old. Let's keep going. Naggart used Flock, a license plate reader, to run his ex-girlfriend tags 164 times between June and October 2023 and 64 times on her boyfriend tags. He originally listed the tag runs as investigation for a missing child, drug use, and suspicious activity. The police chief in November 2022, he previously worked as an officer in Medicine Lounge in Hanover. He resigned shortly after the investigation began in October 2023. So shout out to my man Dwight, always on top of the game, talking about the misuse allegedly, 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 a little misuse my man was doing, using the flock system, and we knew that was gonna happen, right? We knew there was gonna be some misuse, and like he said, this is just one example. We know there are many misuse, but two, that's why we want to have our auditing on, tracking what people do, so we can go back and do audits and review it. So we gotta have somebody watching the watcher, right? So that's one again why you have your good security hygiene. So you want to log what people do, so you can go back like this. Why are you looking at this person 164 times? Um, what case are you reviewing? Then once again, it came out, and my man was a little too old. It might be. Let me calm down. I almost said so. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. I want to go in on my man. Let's see what my Xavier said. That old man using that, thinking about someone younger than him. Exactly. Drug-related facts, man. But he was mad, man. Somebody took his woman, man. His woman. They track women that want to accuse of getting away. Oh my, yeah, no facts, because that could be a crime depending on what state you're in, Dwight. So now that's definitely true. I try to stay away from those issues, but now that definitely is gonna come up. Part of especially a federal investigation, man. So definitely that's definitely would be in the pipeline. Once again, federal oversight and federal overreach, right? Depending on what side of that you would be on, but that's definitely 100% true. So, yeah, I thought that dude was way too old to be worried about. Hey, but I guess everybody got issues, man. I'm gonna leave homie alone. Man. Let me see. I'm just gonna go back to the article. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining me. Hopefully, you're having once again great holiday. I'm usually in the Study GRC Discord if you're looking for me. I need to check my email. I've been kind of lagging a little bit last couple of months. So once again, I'll try to do a few more videos. Once again, trying to get my monetization back in 2026. So I got to get my YouTube hours back up to 4,000 so I can apply again. That's a rough number to get. But I think I'm up. I think I'm like 2,800 or so. So you probably see more live videos. And I'll probably let me know if you like these kind of videos. I kind of do more. I like doing society stuff, government overreach. So that's some things I enjoy looking up and enjoy doing. Once again, I want everybody have a happy holiday. I'm out of here. Happy Friday. I forgot today, Friday. I'm just struggle streaming. Happy Friday. I'm out. TGIF. Once again, if you're looking for me, most people in here, I'm friend on Discord. Most people here be DMing me if they need something. Once again, shout out to everybody. Shout out to White. Shout out to Xavier for joining me. Let's see. My man, Jeffrey Johnson. Shout out to Regine. Always fashionably late. And I'm sure there's a couple people that didn't get a shout. My man, Scab Diesel. Shout out to my man, Farron. If I missed anybody, my bad. I'm out. Once again, everybody have a great holiday. I'm out here. PBO about to take a nap. He's tired. Once again, thanks for joining me. Check it out. I'm trying to go live Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern and Lunch and Learn, 12 p.m. Eastern every Friday. And I'm also releasing some pre-recorded stuff. So go check out my pre-recorded stuff.